We're delighted to announce that we're going to be offering another 200-hour yoga teacher training at Yoga UNME. And this training will be partially pre-recorded videos that I've put together to help you get a good grounding in subjects such as anatomy, alignment, philosophy, as well as the postures. And then when we meet in person, over the course of 8 months, 1 weekend a month, we're going to work on teaching exercises. So you'll learn a handful of preset sequences, so you always have something to teach when you teach. But more importantly, we'll teach you how to create your own sequence that makes sense to you and your students. So I've been a yoga student and practitioner for maybe 25 years, and when I got into yoga, I immersed myself into the lifestyle. Eventually went to India, and when I came back from India, someone asked me to teach yoga teacher training for them at their studio. I would have never thought that I was qualified to do such a thing, but they did, and I decided to do that in 2003 and learned so much. I've been a full-time yoga instructor and a teacher trainer for 20 years now. The more I teach, the more I learn. The more I learn, the more I realize there is to learn. I'm delighted to share what I've learned in the last 20 years with anyone who wants to take a similar trajectory. So Yoga UNME is this cute little studio that's underneath the dentist's office in Spartanburg that's right off the highway. It's got a really good vibe. It's run by this woman named Ginger. She's so sweet. Whenever I'm invited to come to teach here, I always look forward to it and have a good time. The people that I've met here are quite kind, and you can tell that Ginger creates a very good community around her. So I'm happy to be a small part of that. So if you're interested in becoming a yoga teacher, it's not an easy transition to go from not teaching to teaching. But I can show you little steps, or gently, little by little, you can start to move in that direction. And the 200-hour yoga teacher training is just the foundation that teaches you how to learn. And then you can spend the rest of your life continuing to learn and hone your craft. You don't have to be comparing yourself to others, which is the known thief of joy. You can just be you, genuinely interested in yoga, and start to develop your own path to learning yoga well enough to where you can help others do the same. So, yoga is a word that a lot of people assume means unity. It can depend on how it's used in this sentence. But like this meditation technique called vichara, inquiry, where you take a topic and you put it in the form of a question, like, what is yoga? The story of the blind man and the elephant could be really helpful. Once 6 blind men who had never encountered an elephant before were able to do so. One at a time they yelled out, "Oh, the elephant is like a snake," or "The elephant is like a rope," or "The elephant is like a tree trunk, or a mushy wall, or a leaf, or a spear." And that's what happens when we interpret things through our senses, and we fill in the information that we don't know with our beliefs. So interpretation is an all too common form of understanding, but that leads to identification with thoughts that makes us controlled by our thoughts. Yoga is the exact opposite. So yoga is this approach to understanding where you admit you don't know what you don't know, and instead of filling in the missing information with your beliefs, you seek to find out. So it's a method that philosophers call explication, or an explanation based on reason and evidence. And it allows a person to stop blurring themselves with their thoughts, and create healthy space around their thoughts, where they can start to sort out their thoughts in harmony with their ideas. So yoga is a discipline, a philosophy that has at least 20 centuries or more of momentum behind it. And the 8 limbs of yoga just make yoga more accessible. but a lot of people confuse the accessories with yoga itself. So yoga is the discipline of bringing the activities of our mind under control so that we can abide in the form of our choosing. And if we don't do this discipline, we tend to identify with our thoughts and we're controlled by them. And that often means being afflicted. So that's my long-winded answer to yoga, if that was helpful. So I'm Michael Johnson, and I'm a student and an enthusiast of yoga. I've been practicing and teaching for decades, and I'm delighted to share what I've learned over the last few decades so that you can hopefully go where you want to go and have that momentum with you. Instead of making all the mistakes that I've made, we can learn from them and make your own mistakes. So I hope that you'll consider joining me for the info session, and I look forward to meeting you there.